On this week's episode of Bayou Wild TV,
we have the opportunity to learn about and experience a wide range of animals that we would never encounter on this side of the world.
We've got aoudad, addax, black buck, scimitar horned oryx, fallow, red stag, bison, zebra. Being a boy from South Louisiana, I never thought I'd have a ownership of a high fence exotic ranch in Oklahoma and raising these African and European animals that we get to do out here.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Global Outdoors. Find your next adventure and share your experiences with others by downloading the Global Outdoors mobile app or visiting globaloutdoors.com. Every day, we strive to preserve traditions that have spanned generations.
Around every turn of the bayou, Mother Nature reveals unique people, places, and experiences.
And the bounty of animals and fish. Well, in Louisiana, we just call that lagniappe. I'm Don Dubuque.
I'm Chris LeCoq.
I'm Captain Martha Spencer. Join us as we document the adventure,
Sportsmanship,
and heritage that make us Bayou Wild.
Journey with us on a Bayou Wild TV road trip. South Louisiana is in the rearview mirror, and we'll make our way through North Texas to just across the Red River into south central Oklahoma. Along this desolate gravel road sits Lost Bucks Ranch, a one-of-a-kind outdoor getaway with ties to the Bayou State.
James Darby, I'm from Arnaville, Louisiana. Went to LSU undergrad, grad school. Moved to Houston in '97 and in Dallas area in '99, and I've been there ever since. I got the hunting and shooting bug several years ago, and I started looking for ranches all over Texas. One day I got a call from a broker and said, "Hey, I found the perfect place for you." And she goes, "But it's high fence." I'm like, "Okay, we can live with that." And I said, "What else?" She goes, "Well, it's in Oklahoma." I'm like, "Oklahoma? I want a ranch in Texas, not Oklahoma." My partner and I were able to come out here and take a look at the ranch. It was getting auctioned by a bank. The bank held this asset for 2 years, didn't do anything with it. But the animals really had no one taking care of them. The ranch had no one taking care of it, and that's how we found it.
Today we're in south central Oklahoma, and we're gonna get a chance to visit the Lost Bucks Ranch and all the operation and everything that goes into a big-time ranch. But before we take a tour of the property, something is just as intriguing. What about the name? Lost Bucks Ranch? There's gotta be more to this story.
The gentleman who owned this ranch, he was involved in some criminal activity. He stole $43 million in a real estate Ponzi scheme. He was prosecuted and convicted. The ranch manager here, his last name was Buck. As soon as the bank got ownership of the property, they came out here, and there were several millions of dollars that were in cash that was lost. It was never found. And of course, they thought that the money would be hidden at the ranch. They hired a cash sniffing dog to come out here for 16 days, working the ranch, sniffing around for cash, and they never found it. Well, also in that period of time when the gentleman was arrested, they had several beautiful whitetail bucks at the ranch. All the bucks got killed off. So obviously stole $43 million, cash is missing, lost bucks. The ranch manager last name was Buck, lost bucks. And all the animals were killed off, lost bucks. We purchased the ranch our lost bucks. When you get a ranch, you want to have a cool name, and my wife came up with the name. She goes, all these bucks are lost bucks. I'm like, immediately, that's it. There was no other name to consider Lost Bucks Ranch.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
One of the reasons why Double D has been around for 50 years is because we are consistent with what built the business. And we go to great lengths to make sure that when you bring a deer or a hog or whatever it may be, your meat stays your meat all the way through the process. But we want to be as true to the original intent, which is a local meat company. And that's something that we want to maintain for as long as the Lord lets us do it.
Become a supporter of the Louisiana Wildlife Agents Association today by visiting supportlwaa.org. Browse the selection of exclusive gear, including t-shirts in a variety of colors and styles, plus hats, koozies, and more. Gear up today and support the LWAA.
It's up and moving before dawn here in Love County, Oklahoma. We're excited to learn more about this hidden gem known as Lost Bucks Ranch. But first, enjoy a beautiful sunrise with a view not common to what we experience in South Louisiana. Gazing across every direction at this bluff, you get a sense that there will be plenty more uniqueness hiding among the hills within the boundaries of this property. And there's no better way to find out than to set out on a tour.
Here's our whitetail breeder pens. We brought in a whitetail doe 3.5 years ago from Trophy Whitetails in Iowa. These are all Iowa genetic. So it's a 6-year program that we're in year 3 of. We have some fawns in this pen, as well as we have some albino deer back there. Pretty rare to have albino deer, and we're really excited to see, the growth of the whitetail operation at Lost Bucks Ranch.
It didn't take long to encounter the first of many exotic breeds of animals that roam this terrain.
All right, I have a pond. Looks like those are axis. Yeah, those are all axis. There's 2 different cycles in axis depending on when they're born. Some are born in the summer, some are born in the fall, and depending on that, it depends when they lose their antlers. Most axis are at full growth, hard in the summertime. That's where a lot of the attraction to hunting axis is. It's not deer season. People hunt axis June, July, and August in the heat of the summer, and it's when they're at their peak.
Okay. We had the opportunity to survey the land and get the lay of the land, and let me tell you, different than anything we've ever experienced.
I think we have 12 species of exotic animals here. We've got aoudad, addax, black buck, scimitar horned oryx, fallow, red stag, bison, zebra, and a few others I can't think of right now, but man, they're all special and they're all different. We're really very fortunate we get to see these animals and feed these animals and watch them grow, and it's been an experience. I never thought I would, being a boy from South Louisiana, I never thought I'd have a ownership of a high fence exotic ranch in Oklahoma and raising these African and European animals that we get to do out here. There's scimitar horned oryx here. Beautiful animals.
I see you got one big fellow, he's got one horn.
Yeah, that's from frostbite. Got the other one. One of the best eating animals out here, the scimitar horned oryx.
As we tour the property, ranch owner James Darby explains how the terrain changes from rocky hills and valleys to hardwood bottomland and open pastures. A contour that's quite different than most of the surrounding lands in this part of southern Oklahoma.
And in the summertime, it's always about 7 to 10 degrees cooler in here. And so a lot of the animals bed down in here. You can feel the temperature change in here, but it's always cooler than anywhere else on the property. And different animals hang out in different ecosystems. There's some fallow right there, fallow bucks.
There you go. I guess that's how it goes. Sometimes you only get a glimpse, huh?
Yep, you only get a glimpse. These animals are not tame. They're very wild. One of the reasons the animals here seem more wild than other high fence areas is our feeders are gravity fed and not on timers. So animals can eat when they want to, not when we want them to. And therefore they're very unpredictable and skittish.
All characteristics that make the animals of this property much more elusive than you may expect. We have the opportunity to learn about and experience a wide range of animals that we would never encounter on this side of the world. So the clientele you primarily bring out here are all experienced.
Not necessarily. We bring a lot of people that have never hunted. I've brought people
Really?
from London, from New York, from LA that have never touched a gun. And we train them up and teach them how to shoot and give them give them an experience that they'd never get unless they went to Africa. To get these species of animals and to see the exuberance on their face when someone has never been hunting gets to kill a beautiful trophy animal. The excitement and how it changed their perspective, because maybe some of these guys weren't into hunting or didn't believe in hunting, but once they do it, they Axis doe.
As we ride around touring the property, it's evident that James takes great pride in his slice of outdoor paradise. And more importantly, has a passion for this place that extends far beyond the opportunity to hunt big game species.
So this is the highest point on the property and also the highest point in the county, Love County that is.
So I've reached peak elevation.
This is
Like I say,
the height of Love County right here.
Okay.
And as you can see from the view, you can see for miles and miles from right here.
Wow. It's amazing to say that you could see for 10 miles.
Yeah. Yeah, especially on a pretty day like today.
Yeah.
Norman, Oklahoma City, about 2 hours north of this property. That hill over there is Texas. The Red River is 1.5 miles from south of where we're standing right now.
So you said when you came to this point and you guys were evaluating the property, this is when you knew.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that moment.
My business partner and I came to this point, and we looked at each other, we just kind of nodded and said, this is it. And we knew at that point we had to get this property no matter what it took to get it. And just based on the view from this spot right here. And it hasn't disappointed yet.
Yeah. So this is historic land. I mean, you probably, like you were saying earlier, you get a sense of when the Native Americans probably ruled this property. This is probably a very important lookout and a very important part of the...
For thousands of years, I'm sure the Indians were on this property, and I know in the late 1800s, there were a lot of incidents between the Native Americans and the white settlers on the Red River. So there's a lot of history on this property. Unfortunately, I don't know nearly enough about it, but this was definitely Indian territory and a safe place for them to hide because of all the terrain changes. And I read in some books that there's a book out there that says that a lot of the people running from the law in the 1800s would come in the hills of Courtney Flats. Courtney Flats is this area, and they would hide because the law would not come into the hills because of the safe protection that they had in the hiding spots. So this is a place where the lawless came to this property to hide.
Wow.
You know, when I'm riding around or just sitting around the property, I can't help but think about how many Indians walked this land, hunted this land. They had animals here, they also had fertile grounds here. So this was definitely an area of economic thriving for tribes for hundreds or thousands of years.
In Louisiana, food brings everyone together. These are the flavors that make friends out of total strangers. The flavors that remind you of home. It's the meals you crave, that take time, that show love. Because in Louisiana, we cook. And we know that when we come together to cook and eat, life gets better. So pull up a chair, leave room for seconds, and pass a good time. Because life needs Louisiana flavor, baby.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
Hi, I'm Olivia Grace George, Miss Louisiana 2024. Did you know that Louisiana is one of the world's leading producers of propane gas? Of course, it's used for cooking, cleaning clothes, and heating homes, but it's always been used on farms and businesses across our state, as well as school buses and light-duty trucks. As America looks to cleaner, greener alternative fuels for our future, Louisiana's propane dealers stand ready to meet the need. For more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Continuing this week's episode, we're not in Africa, but instead an exotic ranch in southwest Oklahoma.
We want to provide an experience to people that might not have the ability to go to Africa and do a plains game type hunt. We want to give the experience to people who maybe have never even hunted anything before in their life.
We have the opportunity to learn about and experience a wide range of animals that we would never encounter on this side of the world. Animals from aoudad to gemsbok, red stag, just a wide variety. He also has zebras, which aren't hunted. He has axis deer. He's got a wonderful whitetail program. Mr. James and Lost Buck Ranch operate an outfit that prides themselves on providing an experience that you would have to go overseas primarily.
And then we take them out and we give them an experience to, you know, an opportunity to hunt these animals that are pretty special animals, you know. For the less fortunate people that can't go and travel around the world, they get to have that little bit of experience here in Oklahoma. This area is where we do a lot of long-range rifle training for people that have never shot before.
So that's something that's important to you. Part of your why is to teach people about the art and science of long range.
Yeah, we want to teach people how to properly use the weapons for safety first.
I'll have to pass a Lost Bucks Ranch certified
shooting
test. Okay,
absolutely.
good.
Yeah, we don't. I've got a target at 250. It's kind of my litmus test. If you can't hit that target at 250, I don't trust that you're going to make an ethical kill on these beautiful exotic animals. So,
Sure.
But I'm going to help you and whoever else to get to where you are very proficient, at least out to 250 yards and beyond. If you're comfortable, a lot of people, once they start shooting, all they want to do is shoot and hit targets, and they don't really care about, you know, the hunting of the animals. They just enjoy the sport of shooting, and so do I.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. So, let me show you the targets out here.
Take a look.
So what makes it unique is that we have several degrees of shooting lanes here. We've got targets as close as 200 and in 50 yard increments all the way out to 650 yards. So 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500, 550, 600, and I have a 650 at the top of that second peak over there. And what makes it challenging here are the winds. We have some really crazy swirling winds because of the topography here, and it makes it very, very challenging shots. But with the challenging shots, it makes you a better shooter, a better hunter, and you know, and it also teaches you gives you your limits. You know what you can and can't do as a hunter and as a shooter.
Yeah, that's important to know. What type of ammunition, what type of weapons, what type of rifles do you guys prefer?
Yeah, most of the smallest weapon we use out here on the exotics is a 6.5 PRC. We usually use a Federal Terminal Ascent bullet. It's a 130 grain bonded bullet, and it's the velocity is 3,000 feet per second, and that's good medicine to put these animals down in a very quickly. One shot, one kill.
The deeper we explore into Lost Bucks Ranch, the more wild it seems to become.
Most of the species here stay to themselves, to their species. The only animals that really hang out together, they kind of have a little bond, a little brotherhood, are the zebras and the scimitar horned oryx. All the other animals are very independent from one another and stay to themselves, other than the zebra and the scimitar horned oryx.
Our last stop on the day's tour is an area of the property that's overrun with wild hogs. And similar to hunters' efforts in South Louisiana, these large sounders are in need of some population control.
We love our children. We protect them. We guide them. We prepare them for life in the world. With all that we do, from deep in our hearts, we cannot control all things. Life-threatening illnesses and disabilities affect far too many of our children each year. While we cannot change the circumstance, we can make dreams come true. Dreams to provide hope, to provide spiritual healing and strength, to provide moments of happiness and relief in the hardest of times. We can give a glimmer of light and hope in a time of darkness and despair. Join huntofalifetime.org to help make dreams come true, to provide hope for children with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Hunt of a Lifetime is a nonprofit organization fulfilling dreams for hunting and fishing trips to youth 21 and under with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Visit huntofalifetime.org to learn how you can make a difference.
If you're lucky enough to bag a deer or a hog this season, bring it here to Double D. Double D processes hogs and exotic game and guarantees your product is always the meat you brought to Double D.
Double D Meats in Bogalusa, home of country smoked, spicy jalapeno cheddar, and other customized flavors.
Bring your deer or your hog here to Double D, where you always get your meat back in return. It's worth a drive to Bogalusa from anywhere. Double D. Become a supporter of the Louisiana Wildlife Agents Association today by visiting supportlwaa.org. Browse the selection of exclusive gear, including t-shirts in a variety of colors and styles, plus hats, koozies, and more. Gear up today and support the LWAA.
We've only just begun to share this one-of-a-kind weekend experience of the Lost Bucks Ranch. On a future episode, we'll bring you on another adventure we like to call Tigers in the Wild, sharing the experience with a few members of the LSU football team who are also avid hunters.
I'm very excited to host the guys from LSU. As you know, I have an interest in sunshine equipment, and also as an LSU alumni twice, I'm very vested in LSU. You know, super excited and can't wait to show these young men and give them an experience they probably and hopefully have never had, and something they'll remember for the rest of their life.
Thank you, man. I can't thank you enough.
Hey, buddy. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. It's a beautiful animal. That's an awesome animal, man.
You made a perfect shot, too. Look at this. Perfect. So.
It's farewell for now from the Lost Bucks Ranch, but we won't stay lost for long. Soon finding our way back to a wild Oklahoma edition of the adventure, sportsmanship, and heritage of Bayou Wild.